Hey guys, it's been a little while since I posted on here. I'm trying to update on what's been going on. You already know that I canceled my Japan trip to surprise my husband. Because that fell through because of this whole stupid coronavirus crap. So, my husband's back in the States now. He's back in South Carolina with his grandma. Now, I think I remember I said something about moving last video, I believe. Moving to South Carolina to be with him. And I was supposed to leave today. I was supposed to leave this morning. But that fell through because his grandma doesn't want me there. Because with the environment that I was in while working at Lowe's and then having to just hop on a plane and then just go. And she didn't want me there yet. It's not that she doesn't want me there. It's she just wants to take safety precautions. I completely get that. I was not even angry about that. I really didn't care. Whatever worked for her. But, Austin's still not doing any better with his communication at all. Like, he's still doing what he was doing in Japan. Not texting me for hours. Not responding to any of my messages or whatever. And then just him being an asshole. Because just the other day, he deliberately made me mad. He always deliberately makes me mad. He, honestly, has a thrill in pissing me off. Like, I remember one time when he was at the airport going to Myrtle Beach from Jacksonville, North Carolina. He was waiting for his plane to Myrtle Beach. And all he was ever doing was pissing me the fuck off. I mean, it was bad. Started raising my voice and getting pissed off, and he's like, so is this how you're gonna act while you're down there with me? And I said, well, yeah, you have a thrill in pissing me off, but no, that's not how I'm going to act. The only way I would act like that is if you're pissing me off to the point where I will raise my voice. I have a bad tendency in doing that. Whenever I get too pissed off at somebody, I tend to raise my voice, and it's not pleasant. And then I kept bitching at him, and he was getting frustrated with me, I could tell. But surprisingly, he didn't hang up on me. When he was pissing me off so bad, I should have hung up on him right then and there. But I didn't. Thinking, oh, I'll calm down. It'll be fine. But no, he was pushing my buttons even more. He has a really bad habit in pissing me off 24/7. And I asked him the other day, and I said, do you have a thrill in pissing me off all the time? And he said, kinda. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious right now? So pretty much you just like getting me pissed off and then having me not talk to you. And that's basically what he was referring to it as. I started getting even more defensive. And it got a lot worse, and I went to bed angry. That's the thing. Whether you're in the military or not, spouses should never go to bed angry at each other. Obviously, he wasn't angry with me. I was angry with him. And every time that I get angry and I raise my voice, he starts laughing, and then he starts provoking it even more, and then I get even more pissed. And I get so frustrated with him that I just can't do it, you know? He really likes to push my fucking buttons. One push of the wrong button, all hell is gonna break loose. And if I had a car down there, I would just pack all my shit and go back up to Ohio with my family and my friends. The only reason why I'm going to South Carolina is to try to fix our marriage, because we've been separated for 5 months at least now. And, almost 5 months. It'll be 5 months on May 7th, because I haven't seen him since December. But he and I are starting to fight more. We got into a huge fight about 2 weeks ago. Apparently I shouldn't be telling my mom everything. Which obviously, she's my mom. She gives me advice, and I trust that. But what kind of made me mad is that she messaged him about it. And my mom needs to ask my permission first to message him if she allows it. And if I say no, she needs to respect that. And he literally flipped shit on me. And I was at work at that time. Having so many mental breakdowns, it was not even funny. I was so fucking done. I went home and pretty much I just stayed up in my room for the rest of the day. Didn't even do anything. And then after that we finally made up and we were fine. And he still continuously tries to piss me off. He thinks a lot of the shit he says is funny. Do I think it's funny? No. Not at all. And then I tell him it's not funny. He's like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, really? You think it's funny to piss me off? And he's like, kinda. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? I just don't know why he keeps treating me the way he does. It seems like I'm just a joke to him. I'm a living human being. I have feelings. And so does he. But he's more hard-headed. And honestly, he's as dumb as a box of rocks. I'm dead ass. He is as dumb as a fucking box of rocks. I mean, yeah, he was in the military, but that doesn't mean anything. He didn't really have to do much of his job, because the only thing he really had to do was radio operation for like 3 months. And we talked on the phone all the time. But now, we hardly talk on the phone at all. He got his service back up. So that's a good thing, I guess. Because now he's permanently back in the States. He's never going back. He's out of the military for good. And I swear to God, if he pisses me off any further, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm tired of being treated the way that I am right now. He thinks he can control my life. He is seriously controlling. I mean, it's fucking bad, dude. I'm telling you. It's gotten to the point where I just don't know what to do now. But I'm constantly tired of bitching at him all the time. And he's fucking immature. I mean, he's very immature for his age. He's fucking 21, okay? he's been drinking since he was 20, and it got real bad, and he couldn't control it when he was out there. So that's why I'm kind of glad he's out of the military now, so he can actually control his drinking, because I'm sure Grandma Wing will not let that happen, especially since his dad passed away of alcoholism in 2015. That was about a little less than 2 years before Austin and I met. And when Austin and I first met, he told me a lot about his dad and how alcoholism took over his life. And I'm afraid that alcohol is taking over Austin's life. I mean, Austin's dad passed away when Austin was 16. You shouldn't be losing a parent at 16. And then his dad died at like age 38, 39. So that's pretty young. And alcoholism really took a toll on our marriage. And I constantly bitched at him for it, about his drinking issue, and then he started getting all defensive, and then he got all pissed off at me, saying, why do you keep repeating yourself? I'm like, well, I wouldn't repeat myself if you actually fucking listened to me for once. And that really doesn't give him the right to tell me that I need to listen when he doesn't listen to me. So if he doesn't listen to me, then why should I listen to him? It's fucking logic. It's logic. It's fucking ridiculous that I have to tolerate this every fucking day of my life. And a lot of my friends don't like him because of that whole fucking reason. He gets pissed off at me, and I get pissed off at him, and then he gets over it, and I don't let it go. That first ever time that he got drunk off his ass, and then he pretty much sent videos while he was drunk, and I flipped shit. I completely fucking lost it. I think it was his, like, first month in Japan, like maybe the first. No, it was after he turned 20. Yeah. That was last year. It happened last year. He got really, really freaking drunk, and he texted me one day, and he said, I don't remember anything from last night. And I said, were you drinking? And he completely avoided that question. And then I received the videos because I was leaving work that day, and I watched the videos, and I started bawling my eyes out. I completely bawled because I remember clear as day what alcohol did to me when I was 18. Biggest regret I've ever done. Now, I haven't touched a bit of alcohol since then. I refused to touch it until my 21st birthday. I'm 20. I'm going to be 21 in January. And I promised myself I would not fucking touch it until I turn 21 and I'm legal. I can do whatever I want. But it cost me the more of my stupidity when I did that. I wasn't thinking. But in Austin's case, I got really upset, and he said, babe, I'm fine. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. You know how I feel about that shit. At first I thought, when I was in my early teens, I'm like, When I get to the legal age to drink, I'm gonna get drunk, like majorly drunk. And then as soon as I got older, and then that situation happened back in 2018, and I'm just like, nope, changed my mind. And that caused a whole fiasco, and shit just went down from there. And the reason why I got upset is because, like I said, I've had a bad experience with it. And I have not touched it ever since. And when I bitched at him, I said, why would you do that? Just why? Like, it seems like he doesn't take my feelings into consideration. Like never. My feelings, when it comes to him, they never get taken into consideration. And then he pretty much takes it in his best interest and not mine. And that drives me up the wall. And when he says something, thinking, oh, you'll do this and you'll do that, and then I'd say, you didn't even discuss with me about it first. Get my approval. See if it's in my best interest. But oh no, he wants to make my decisions for me. And I even told him, I said, you can't be making my decisions for me. I'm an adult. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can make my own decisions without your help. Now, if you want me to make a decision, then elaborate about it and then say which decision is in my best interest. But honestly, I felt pressured into moving to South Carolina. I mean, no, I'm not in South Carolina yet. Like I said earlier on in the video that I was supposed to leave today at 7:15 in the morning, but that fell through. I just really think Austin and I are just going through another major patch in our relationship. We've been together for 2 years and something months. I believe it's been 2 years and 9 months. No, it's been 2 years and 8 months. Because next month will be 9 months. Because our 3-year anniversary is in August. Our 1-year wedding anniversary is in June. So that's coming up pretty freaking soon. Hopefully we will be able to celebrate our 1st-year anniversary together. Because with the other anniversaries they had for the last 2 years, we never got to spend it together. Because Austin graduated boot camp a little bit after our 1-year anniversary. He was in Japan on our 2-year. And then now we're actually going to be together for our 3rd. And actually spend a lot of holidays together instead of being separated and being miles apart. Because when he was in Japan, we were about 2,000 miles apart. A little over 2,000 miles apart. And now he's less than 1,000 miles apart. We're less than 1,000 miles apart. We're at least about 400, 500 miles apart. Because when I drive down there, well, like I said, when I was originally going to fly, my dad offered to drive me down to save money. And I think that's a wonderful idea. It'll save Austin money for whatever he needs to do. And then, just have me pack my stuff, put it in the car, and just go. And it'll be good for me to pack my TV and pack my Xbox. But I'm not going to do that until the day, literally the day of. We're probably going to get up early in the morning and leave whenever that day comes. But I won't know until May, until this whole stay-at-home order goes out of effect. Because obviously nobody's listening to that, so why do we fucking have it? It's good that people are maintaining social distancing. That's the main thing. Because I'm trying to manage to stay at least 6 feet apart from the person in front of me or next to me. Sorry, I have not had much sleep for the last couple days. Last night, I didn't go to bed until almost 6 o'clock in the morning. And I got woken up at like 10 o'clock first. And then I went back to sleep. Got woken up again at 11. And stayed up. Because I was originally going to go with my mom to go drop off taxes and go take stuff to my sister. And then I didn't go anywhere. I'm quarantining myself for 2 weeks. So I can have a clean bill of health when I get down there. So I don't get Austin's grandma sick. Even if I don't have it, it's still a possibility I could get her sick. But when I get down there, I'm setting ground rules for Austin. Hopefully, he will follow them. I shouldn't have to set ground rules. Because he's older than me. And we're both grown-ass adults. There should be no rules. But as a matter of fact, that he's so goddamn immature in that he thinks he can tell me what to do and this and that. It's just no. I'm not going to let that happen. If I have to set ground rules, I will. I'm not afraid to. Because I straight up told him not to pester me on the first day that I'm there. Otherwise, I will end up regretting that decision. And once I regret that decision, I'll want to fly home. I'll want to come home. But in the same sense, I want to start a life with him. Because we never lived together. The majority of our relationship has been apart. We've always been apart. Ever since he moved down to South Carolina. Now, if he stayed here in Lancaster with me, we wouldn't be going through this situation right now. But it's whatever. And like I said, if he decides to be an ass and tell me what to do and tell me what to do left and right, and then pester me on a fucking daily basis, I'm not having it. I'll say, you know what? If you're going to pester me this much, we need to take a break, and I'm flying back to Ohio for a couple weeks. I think it's a typical man thing. They like to pester the shit out of their wives. Or girlfriends. Or fiancés. Or even their female siblings. Their sisters. Austin didn't have any sisters to pester, so he didn't really have to worry about that. He has an older brother and a younger brother. He's the middle child. Now, with me, on the other hand, I got 3 older siblings. Age 21, 34, and almost 37. And then I got a 5-year-old niece who's about to be 6 in October. So I'm pretty much I'm not real technically the only female in his life. Obviously his grandma's in his life. Both of his grandmas are in his life. And his mom. But he doesn't really talk to her at all. Now, when he was in Japan, Austin hardly called his grandmas at all. The person he called the most was me. And I even told him one time, and I said, don't you think you should call Grandma Wing or call Grandma Griffith? That's really how it should be. His family should be over me. But now that we're married, he thinks I'm top priority. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's kind of nice being a priority, but his family comes first. Just like I make my family come first. My family is really important to me. My friends are important to me. But now, with this rocky side of our relationship going on, I don't know if our relationship's going to last that much longer. I just really don't know at this point. Just trying to figure it out as I go. That's all you can really do. I just felt like I was kind of rushed into getting married. If Austin and I waited a little bit longer, we could have possibly be okay right now. Well, actually, no. I really just think we should have waited, because knowing how many issues newlyweds go through, I'd rather not have go through the issues while Austin was overseas. I got to spend 2 extra weeks with him before he had to go back to Japan. And then, because that was like literally 2 weeks after we got married, and then he had to go back. It was really hard. I mean, it was really hard. I just don't know how to tolerate this anymore. Austin doesn't see that we're still in a rocky spot. It's his fault for moving to South Carolina. It wasn't my choice. It was his. And honestly, if we weren't together right now, I wouldn't be dealing with all this shit, and I'd still have my job at Lowe's. Yes, I quit my job. My last day was Wednesday. But now, I'm taking 2 weeks into quarantine so I can maintain distance away from people. And see how it goes then. Hopefully I'll be able to update more because of how busy I've been. But today I was pretty lazy. I have not really done anything today. I was supposed to be either packing or cleaning. I have not done any of that. I just didn't really feel like going anywhere. And I didn't go anywhere today, which that was a good part. But I would either be packing or be cleaning. And I really did not feel like doing anything. Because like I said earlier, I didn't go to bed until almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I just could not fall asleep. Besides, I was on the phone for about an hour with one of my friends. But yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to update more, and I can possibly give you a tour of the new house whenever. But right now, I'm still under a lot of stress that with this whole move thing, it's really stressing me out, and it's causing me a major personality change. Like, I'm not the happy, outgoing person that I used to be. Excuse me, sorry, I was scratching my nose. But, I used to be a happy, lively girl. And then I met Austin, and then this whole military thing came into play, and then my whole mental health deteriorated from there. I mean, all of it. My mental health went down and downhill fast. It was basically like a roller coaster. It would be up for a little while, and then it would go back down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Constant pattern. Every fucking day. I was done with it. I was seriously done. And I was tired of tolerating having to deal with distance, and then dealing with Austin and I fighting so much, and then having our marriage almost end. Not once, twice. I've had it end almost end twice. And then apparently it's my fault because of that caused the argument. One time I did cause the argument. The other times that we argued badly, no, that was not my fault. That was his. He just won't own up to it. He should be just like, oh, I'm sorry. I caused this argument on my own. I'm sorry. I'll take full responsibility. But no, he'll say, okay, this was your fault. You caused this. I'm like, really? So basically where I'm getting at right now is he blames me for everything. I'm pretty much the pawn of blame. Apparently, I do everything. Apparently, I fuck up everything. So, yeah, I'm basically like a pawn for his blame. Because he has no one else to blame. The only person he blames is me. And a lot of the arguments we've had are his fault. He's just not man enough to own up to it. Whenever I'm wrong, I own up to it. And if I did something wrong, I own up to it. Like a responsible adult should. And then he says that I'm immature and that I don't act like an adult. I'm like, do you think you're any better? You literally laugh at the dumbest shit. And then you think it's funny that I get pissed off and then I yell and then a whole fight breaks out. And then apparently that's my fucking fault too. He provokes it. He's not intimidating. He's just very provocative. And I'm just not going to deal with that anymore. And if he continues to treat me the way he does and blames me for everything and tells me what to do and this and that, I'm not going to put up with it anymore. And the outcome, you never know. And I'm probably not ever going to know for now. Until I'm in the moment where Austin and I get in a fight and then everything else spirals out of control. And we could possibly start yelling and have Grandma Wing be like, what the hell's going on? And then at that point, I'd probably walk out the door and just leave. But who knows anymore. So, being a pawn for blame and get the finger pointed at me all the time. And like I said, I admit that I'm wrong. Austin is too hard-headed to even admit anything. He wants to be the tough guy, basically. And I'm just like, no. This is not how it works. And then we had a heated discussion about that. And then pretty much our relationship at that point falls apart. It's just really one of those difficult situations that sometimes I don't know how to handle. I lose my temper really, really fast. I'm a short-tempered person. And yes, I do need to control my temper. But it doesn't help that Austin provokes it and then pretty much pushes my buttons and then just laughs at it, pokes fun at me, and then I flip shit even more, and then it gets even worse than that. And I get to the point where I just hang up on him. That's when I'm just like, no. And if he does that in person, I'm gonna just straight up say, shut the fuck up. Because I'm not gonna tolerate his annoyance. But we'll just see how it goes for now. Only time will tell to maybe fix our marriage. Just not right now. It's just pretty hard. It's a really hard time for me. Because my coping skills are very, very poor. Let me tell you. So, I'm going to conclude my video for the night. Because I'm over the 35-minute mark. So, I'll try to update a little bit more. Even though I've said this a lot of times. And it's just like, no. And then I completely forget. But so, yeah, I'll conclude my video for the night, and whenever something else happens, I'll definitely update, because this is basically like my video journal. So, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll be on again as soon as I can. Probably not for a little while, but I'll be on whenever. See you guys.